Jack Neighbour will be looking for a response from the Springboks against Argentina as they look to finish their rugby championship on a high. My name is Mark. Let's talk rugby. South Africa versus Argentina is the final game of this year's created Rugby Championship. It's at the Emirates Airlines Park in Johannesburg. It's on Saturday 29th of July and kickoff is 4:05 BST. We'll have a look at the teams starting with the Springboks. So front row is Kitsoff, Marks, Malherbe, and then second row Etzebeth Anori. The back row Van Staden, Dutoy, Vermeulen, halfbacks Williams and Lebok. Left wing Arendse. The centres Dielende and Creel. Right wing Colby and fullback is Leroux. Then on the bench, they've gone with Mbanambi, Nyakane, Koch, Smith, Snyman, De Klerk, and Willemse. For Argentina then, the team is front row Gallo, Montoya and Gomez, Codera. Then second row is Paulus and Lavanini. Back row Matera, Grondona and Gonzalez. Halfbacks Bezan Velez and Santiago Carreras. Left wing Imhoff. Centres Chocobares and Cinti. Right wing Mateo Carreras and fullback is Malia. On the bench then they got Ruiz, Tetas, Chaparro, Sclavi, Rubiolo, Isa, Bertranini, Albanos and Moroni. So in terms of last year's games, it was, fairly similar in both games. First game was in Argentina. It's Argentina 20, South Africa 36. So South Africa went out, I think it was a 17-0 lead, and then it was 17-7 by half time. Argentina came back a little bit and then South Africa pulled away. This second game then was in South Africa 38, Argentina 21. South Africa again get out to a lead. I think they were 26 at half time. Argentina respond, come back at them in the second half, but again South Africa pull away for what was a comfortable win in the end. In terms of the two teams then, South Africa made 9 changes from the team that lost to New Zealand. You got Curtly, Arendse, Jesse Creel, Manny Lebok and Grant Williams all coming into the backs. In the forwards then, Malcolm Marks is in for Mbanambi at hooker. You've got Marvin Ori into the second row for De Jager, Van Staden, Dutoy and Vermeulen into a new back row for them. 5 changes for Argentina. They brought in Juan Cruz Malia, Santiago Chocobares, Juan Imhoff and Lautaro Bazan Velez in the backs, and then Lucas Paulus is in for Matias Alemano in the second row. So we just have a closer look at the two teams. So, for the box, Kitsoff, Marks and Malherbe is, a very good front row to start off with. You just got to think they've got to decide who though is going to be their starting front row. They've kind of been switching up between having what they termed before the bomb squad, as it were, coming in with stronger players maybe coming on to finish, or do they want to play their best players right from the start? I think it makes sense, play your best players until they get tired, but if they're going to do that, they're going to have to work out, who is going to be their starting front row. In the second row, then it seems to be who's going to partner Etzebeth. I don't think, Etzebeth is not under any pressure for his spot, but a lot of players are putting a hand up for, who's going to partner him. You've got Ori there. You've got Snyman, even Klein. I don't think Klein may not even make the Rugby World Cup squad, but you've got others who can come in there as well. De Jager as well. So plenty of competition for who's basically going to partner Etzebeth there. Then the back row, you got Van Staden, Dutoy and Vermeulen. Again, seems to not be very clear who are actually going to be starting back rows, but there's decent competition in there, and I think the likes of Dezoy and Vermeulen, they need to get up to test speed. You've seen them; they've improved as the Rugby Champions gone on. I expect them both to play well in this one. Halfbacks then, they've gone from Williams and Lebach. Lebach coming back in for Willemse, and I think himself and Williams, they both love to play quickly, and they're both very aware of what's actually going on in the game. So expect them, quick taps and that kind of stuff. Just quick thinking from both of them, and probably catch Argentina out on a couple of occasions as well. In terms of then the rest of the backs, I think Arendse is probably putting his hand up, I think, above kind of Mapimpi to start maybe in the World Cup. I think he's probably been the form wing for them. Colby, I don't think he can leave out. He's just, got too much of that X factor, and he's been playing pretty well as well. The centres then, Dielende and Creel, I think both of them have a chance of going to the World Cup, but again, it's getting that centre combination right. Is it just going to be Dielende and Arm, or are other players, who is it? Esterhazen, is it? Is the other guy? I thought he did really well in the first game against Australia, so it's going to be interesting again to see who's going to be the pick there. Leroux seems to be the choice at 15, although with Willemse not starting at 10 now, maybe that's going to become a debate again whether Leroux or Willemse starts at 15 for them. Then a quick look at the Argentina team. So with Gallo, Montoya and Gomez, Cordella in the front row there, they don't seem to have settled on who their props are going to be for the Rugby World Cup. They had some inexperienced guys playing in there earlier on in the championship, and they really got stung by that. So maybe this is going to be the front row that actually starts in the Rugby World Cup. They seem to be a little bit more solid. They really struggled against New Zealand in their scrums, but everybody's been doing that. Then Paulos coming in with Lavanini in the second row. So I think Lavanini is probably going to be starting in the Rugby World Cup, and then the other slot beside him is probably up for grabs at the minute. Back row, Matera, Grondona and Gonzalez has been pretty decent, and could be the unit that goes to the Rugby World Cup as well. And then you got Bazan Velez coming in to start there for them. Carreras may actually be the 10 for the Rugby World Cup, but 9 again is one that's up in the air. You've got Imov coming back as well on the left wing, and I think the wing spots again could be ones where there's opportunities for players to put hands up. I think in the centre as well, because you got Choco Barres coming in. Cynthia, I think, is probably going to go to the Rugby World Cup and probably will be a starter for them. You got Malia coming in at fullback as well. So again, you got a lot of, I think, opportunity for players to put hands up for the Rugby World Cup for them too. And then, players coming off the bench as well, depending on, their impact, again, could be putting a hand up for potential inclusion there too. But then, in terms of the overall situation, I think Argentina, they're going to obviously have confidence coming into this game from the win over Australia, but I don't think they're going to be able to live with the box over 80 minutes. They seem to be a team that have found it hard to back up a good performance with another good performance. And they kind of remind me of Ireland from years ago, where they almost needed a bad performance to then kind of get them G'd up to put in a decent performance as a reaction. And going into the Rugby World Cup, you do not want to be a reactionary team. You need to string those good performances together. That's what gets you out of your pool. And then once you're into the knockout stages, we've seen with Argentina before that all bets are off. They've gotten to semi-finals before, and they'll have no fear really if they can actually get out of their group. South Africa, they're going to be looking to bounce back from, that defeat against New Zealand, where they really were the second best team. And I think that's what's going to make them very dangerous in this game. They're not going to underestimate Los Pumas for this one and expect them to win it comfortably, at least in the end, but with Argentina giving them a game early on.